In TOK this year, I had a very interesting time looking at many different things involving knowledge and how we can incorporate knowledge into our society today. From our first unit, The Nature of Knowledge, there were two things that really caught my attention the most, and it was when we were talking about psychopaths and how everyone thinks psychopaths are just these very few people in the world, but in reality, I learned that they're very common in society, and that not all psychopaths are bad people. It's just the way the mind thinks, and that CEOs are likely to be psychopaths, just for the way that their mind has to work around the business and everything that they need, and they need to be in control. Another thing that I really enjoyed was the This I Believe project, and I feel like this allowed us to view our thoughts and express ourselves in a way that we don't have to be afraid, and we're just truly expressing our feelings towards something, and it allows us to tell the world in the school society that we're in of what we believe and what our lives, what we like to focus on. From our second unit, Sense Perception as a Walk, I was really interested in the video from Science of Attraction talking about the profile pictures that we put on display and how we are most likely to put off our best attributes that we have, and when choosing a picture to post on Facebook or Instagram, we're most likely to choose a picture based on what we think other people will like, and how not only how other people we think will like it, but more, and so how we view ourselves and what we think is our best attributes that we have and can show off to the world, and that's what we feel will make us look better, and what we think society will make us, how society will make us feel. Another really interesting thing was from our third unit, which was Language as a Walk, or Language as a Way of Knowledge, and what I found really interesting is that in some languages there's words and that we don't use that are untranslatable, and I thought it was interesting how in class we could incorporate so many different languages such as German and Spanish, French, and Japanese, and we were able to go through each one and see what are the words that can't be translated, what are the different texting ways that we can speak. And it was just so interesting to incorporate culture into the knowledge and languages, and how even though we may not communicate in the same way, we all have the same knowledge and meanings behind everything. We just use them and express them in different ways. Another interesting point was when emotion as a way of knowledge, and when looking at emotion, I found it really interesting how when talking to someone, you can the way you talk or the way you use your words can really cause just the person you're talking to look at you differently. And if you're talking to someone in a very angry, or you have an attitude towards them in a bad way, they're not going to respect you enough, and they're going to look down upon you, and they won't treat you, they're going to treat you the same way that you're talking to them, with an attitude, with disrespect. Whereas if you were to show them good emotion, you're taking your time to talk to them and listen to everything that they're saying, you're most likely to get that back in return. And I'm really interested to continue this unit in August because I find emotions very interesting, and how you can incorporate them into the knowledge aspect, and how everything revolves around one another. So through my first 2 semesters of TOK, I was very interested in how so many things can affect knowledge, but throughout different cultures, everything is kind of the same, and we all look at knowledge in a very similar aspect, and that knowledge is the world, and we can what am I trying to say? Knowledge is everything, and no matter what you're trying to express, there's going to be knowledge involved in it, and society will view the knowledge, and society and the world all have similar aspects as to what knowledge is. So I'm looking forward to the next year of TOK and what we're going to continue to learn.